site, and I am really very happy to see all these other names that we usually don't see attending our meetings. You are all more than welcome, and we are very glad that you have taken the time to join this LISLIG meeting with the theme Gamification Tools to Promote Your Library. I am sure we will all learn something today. Arno, I just want to find out from you, do we have any apologies for today?
Yes, I've got apology from Rhonda, beside a note from Tayo TVET College, and then also from the National Chair of LISLIG, Ms. Sia Yeng. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but
Yeah,
only those two.
Okay, thank you, Arno. On the personalia, I know it's this time of the year that everybody gets their degrees, and it's yeah, all the families are very happy for all the people who has obtained their degrees and who has finished. Do we have anyone in this audience who obtained their degree, or whose children or grandchildren or family member got their degree within the last few weeks or months? No one. Do we have any other comment under personalia? Okay, then we are setting the agenda for today. Is there any member who would like to add anything to today's agenda? Okay, then we move to the minutes of 17 February. Elma, the minutes is not on the screen. Oh, there the minutes are. So can we please check the minutes of 17 February? Do you see any corrections that we need to apply? I just want to stop there. Alma, if you can go down a bit. 6.3. Arna, there's just a spelling mistake in the second sentence. In July, it only needs an L between the U and the D. If you can just rectify that.
Thank you.
Alma, then I have another one just before next meeting. If you can just scroll up a bit. No, if you can scroll down there. Yeah, some discussions took place from attendees. It's the first sentence on that page, Arna. Then it says from attendees questions, especially. That's not spelled correctly. Especially, I think it's an E instead of an I. If someone can
I've got it.
If someone can just help me with that spelling. Okay, that's all I have on the corrections. Can we have someone who say we can adopt the meeting, the minutes? Can we adopt the minutes?
I will.
Can we get a seconder?
Isma?
Dankie, Isma. Okay, then we quickly look at matters of the day. I am at 6.1, finances. We did give our previous speaker a token of appreciation, so we did use a bit of our money. At the moment, there are 420 Rand in our petty cash. And due to the fact that we do not pay anything at the moment for tea or coffee, the petty cash is not really growing, but it doesn't matter. It's nice having the online meetings. Then 6.2, I would like to report that we currently have 11 members who are paid up and who have indicated that LISLIG is their either primary or secondary interest group. And then there's potentially 2 other people who also need to pay their membership. But I would like to appeal to all of you, if you know of other people who would like to form part of LISLIG as an interest group, please help us to promote this interest group. We are quite a small interest group and we would like to have some more members, but at the moment we also love all of you who do attend our meetings, even though that you are not a LISLIG member. Yeah, therefore we would like to welcome you. I see there's a question. Can someone just show me if you can hear me? Because I see there was a question that some people are not hearing me.
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, so I know I'm audible. Okay, thank you. Then maybe it's a problem on that side. With all these connectivities, you never know when the line drops or what happens. That is then all the issues we have to deal with. I now give just one last thing. Elma will introduce Leanda to us, and shortly after that, Leanda will become part of the meeting. So after, I think what we should organize is, as soon as Elma has introduced Leanda, then we please all switch on our cameras. We just want to ask Kagishu to take a photo for us that we can put this on the cloud and we have it for memories. So Elma, I'm giving over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matilda. We all know Leanda, and it's really a privilege today that she can talk to us. As gamification was at the stage, it was her baby at the university. As she started working at the Bloemfontein Public Library Children's Department in 1989, after her graduation in 1991 at the University of the Free State, she was promoted as assistant librarian in the Public Library Reference Department. Then she was promoted to branch librarian of the Figure Park Branch Library in Bloemfontein. Sorry, I just want to get all this. Okay. In 2003, she was appointed as training librarian at the University of the Free State Library, in which capacity she was responsible for lecturing on the ILK course, that is Information Literacy course. And in 2013, she was appointed as campus librarian at the South Campus of the university. She was also involved in information literacy and developing and training of teacher librarians. 2021, she leaves us and moved to Pretoria and was appointed as a library at Academia, a private institution of higher education. She has the responsibility of developing the library and information service for the newly built library. So that is Leanda's. Then we can just quickly go to her qualifications. As we see, University of the Free State, the B. Bibble in 1991. UNISA, she did her honours up to 2006. And then the University of Cape Town, she did her Master's in Library Information Science and finished 2019. So we are very glad to have Leanda with us. And thank you, Matilda.
Thank you, Alma. Can we just ask everyone to switch on their cameras or their videos in order for us to quickly take a picture? I hope Leanda has joined us already.
Matilda, sorry to interrupt. Matilda has just sent me Leanda has just sent me a WhatsApp. She's trying to connect. She's got some difficulties, so she will be with us shortly.
Okay, no, that's fine. We will just give her another minute or so. Then we hope she will be able to do this. While we're waiting for her, I'm just going to skip 1 or 2 points on the agenda and inform you that our next meeting will be on the 21st of July, and it will be a LIASA website training. Arna, if I understand correctly, will Anna-Marie just talk us through, or do you think it will be a hands-on training?
I don't think it's a training. I think we ask her just to tell us about, so I think she will show us. So it's kind of a demonstration. I can just make sure with her, and then in the invite, I can indicate if it will kind of be a workshop kind of thing, or is it just a demonstration.
Yeah, but because, sorry for this discussion, but what I just think is if it cannot be a hands-on, then I'm sure she will be able to give people hands-on training on another time, but this will be a nice teaser to see what is available for those of us that do not know what's available on the LIASA website and how to enter it and how to use it. I see that Leanda is not there yet, so let's just wait another minute or two.
Leanda has just joined us.
Did she join? Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Kagisho, if you can see her, will you then please take a picture of all of us? There's a lot of you who did not switch on your cameras. Can you quickly do so, or your videos?
We can't be incognito.
Nice seeing those.
Hi, Leanda.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry for the technical glitch, but I'm here.
Nice seeing you, Leanda. We're just asking Kagisho to quickly take a picture of all the attendees, and then you can start your presentation. Thank you for your time.
There's still people coming aboard.
Okay. Kagisho, will you tell us when you have taken the picture that we can switch off our cameras and we can give Leanda an opportunity to do her presentation?
Dina, you need to switch on your camera.
Done.
Thank you, Kagisho. We really appreciate. Leanda, then we hand over to you, and we are looking forward to your presentation.
You didn't smile.
Morning, colleagues. It's so nice to join you. I must say I miss the Free State hospitality and the friendliness of the Free State. The Gauteng province is quite different than the Free State. But anyhow, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for inviting me. I prepared a short presentation then on gamification. As you all know, I started my career at the University of the Free State being the training librarian and presenting the information literacy classes. And I do have a passion for teaching. Way back when I matriculated, I actually wanted to be a teacher, but yeah, things turned another way, and I'm not sorry that I ended up as being a librarian, because that gives us a lot of opportunities and still the opportunity to teach. And so I thought of creative ways to teach information literacy because the students sit in class and they look at you and you feel like, I'm not reaching the students. So that's where my interest started in gamification. All right, so now you must just help me. I'm more familiar with Teams. So I would like to share my screen with you where my PowerPoint will be lying.
Leanda, we can see your screen.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Great stuff. Great. Let me just start then with at the beginning. All right, so I'm going to do a presentation then on gamification for you. And as I said, that was my passion to see how to make it more interesting in the classroom. Gamification is about transforming the classroom environment and regular activities into a game. In other words, we are working with Generation Y. They were born after 2000, and they are the most networked generation that ever entered into higher education. In other words, they multitask. They will be studying, they will have their smartphones at one side, they will listen to music on the other side. So we have to take this generation's way of learning into consideration in our teaching environment. And as I said, they have their smartphones, they text message with their friends on the other side. There's several media platforms they engage on in their daily lives. Formal studies has indicated that most of these students, however, lack the fundamental information literacy skills needed when you enter into higher education. They are so exposed to this media platforms and all the fake news, and they don't know how to distinguish between real facts and fake news because they are constantly engaging on social media and the information is constantly flowing, and they don't take the time, or perhaps they don't have the skills to evaluate this information to see what is real and what is not real. So when it gets to their assignments, they prefer to go to Google because that's the platform they are familiar with. So we have a huge educational responsibility on our shoulders as librarians to teach them other ways. And to engage with them, I looked at gamification because they have their smartphones and they interact on the social platforms. All right, so what is information literacy then? According to the American Library Association, they define information literacy as a set of abilities requiring individuals to recognize when information is needed and have the ability to locate this information, to evaluate the information, and then to effectively use this information. And that is what we see when we work with students presenting the information literacy classes, that they don't necessarily have the skills. They are not aware of the databases that the libraries have available to them. They don't know how to compile a search strategy. They don't know how to evaluate information. And especially ethical aspects of information, they also struggle with because they copy and they paste from Google and then they drop it in a Word document and they think within an hour they've got a wonderful assignment. But when you process it for you process it on Turnitin, then you see, but they plagiarized most of the information. All right, so this is information literacy, and this is really another passion of me that I have, is to teach the students about how to find the information, how to use the databases, how to access the electronic journals we have available, how to evaluate your information, and then comparing fake websites with real facts as well when we're busy with this information literacy. All right, so that brings me to gamification. So we've got the information literacy background. We have to step into the class. If you just put a PowerPoint on the screen, they're going to read your PowerPoint bullets. They're not really listening because the library always has a lower priority. So we have to be innovative. Now, gamification for learning can be beneficial because games instill lifelong learning and it promotes problem solving, critical thinking, and awareness and how to collaborate. But just be aware of too much screen time. We are now frequently getting information through on the effects that too much screen time has on a person. I think in the COVID times, we all spend a lot of times on the screens. Your working hours has actually increased because you will work throughout the night or later hours to get things done. So we're constantly on the screens. We have our smartphones on the other side, and we're constantly engaging with people. One of my colleagues said they're going for a hike in the mountains this upcoming long weekend, and they can't wait to detox from technology. So that was quite interesting hearing detoxing from technology, right? So always bear in mind the exposure to screen time. Remember that this generation has got a short attention span due to the fact that they multitask. They have a short attention span. So you have to grasp them at the beginning of your lecture to hold their attention. And this is where gamification is wonderful, grabbing their attention right from the start and motivating them to engage in the classroom and stay focused. Right. Gamification then in education aims to make learning more engaging and appealing. You go a bit beyond the traditional methods, but you cannot exclude your traditional learning methods as well. So gamification is used to motivate the students, and you push them a bit to strive to do a bit more. So they test themselves actually what they know and what they don't know and how to engage with this game. The main object of gamification is to keep the students engaged. And you can set goals and they must achieve those goals, and then they go on to, if you have levels of your game, so you set them goals, you keep them motivated. That is the big thing, because the library is lower on their list, to-do list, or the importance list. We have to keep them engaged. All right, so gamification methods, there's several gamification methods. In other words, you use game elements and ideas in your presentation, and you can set some game elements like they must score, there's a leaderboard, they can have points, and so you incorporate game elements, but your main focus is on education and teaching them. All right, so I've got one example to start off. A very, very simple example of a crossword puzzle. Right, so you can have a crossword puzzle that they can use as well. I just want to see if my link is working. Yes, I'm just going to show you. This is a crossword puzzle we designed. When I was at the university, we compiled a guide for information literacy. And this is one of the activities we decided on. And it's on copyright and plagiarism and fair use. So it's all your ethical aspects of information. There's a program that can actually do this crossword puzzle for you so that you don't have to sit and have to figure this out. There's software you can download. So this is just an example of a crossword puzzle. You can give them to do in class. You can break them up in groups. They can work together, or you can do it electronically, or you can put it on your Blackboard, is that the one university uses? And they can engage there and they can use it there and they can score points then for the activity. All right, so this is an example, it's a very simple one. You can start off with gamification. Another lovely tool is Kahoot. You can download this, it's free, and you can have a small competition in class. So the students always have their smartphones with them. You've got internet access, Wi-Fi in your classroom, so data shouldn't be a problem. And then you register on Kahoot beforehand. So you will have your lesson plan first of all. I can show you an example. So you will sit and you will prepare your lesson. Quite a bit of thought will go into this lesson plan when you work with Kahoot. You will decide what it's on. You will decide your supporting material that you will have. You will briefly explain the content. You will show a YouTube clipping if necessary. and you have your PowerPoint. So you just plan your lesson ahead. You put time to your lesson and what is the learning activity going to be. All right. So this is just giving thought to what are you going to do in class. Example of a presentation. This is just now you will sit down. You have done your lesson plan and you will do your PowerPoint. This one is on ethical aspects. So I will talk about copyright. I will talk about plagiarism, fair use, public domain, intellectual property. What is a patent? Show an example. What is a logo? What is IP bags, etc. Discussion on IP bags. So, right, I do my presentation. So they have the information on ethical aspects of information. What I've also done, I prepared a goodie bag as well, which I handed out in class. Just an example of my goodie bag. Remember, I've taught them about logos, patents, what is copyright, what is fair use. So I prepared a goodie bag. So you will see there's a Checkers or Pick and Pay bag. You have a CD, you have some pills, you've got tissues. So I divided the class in two. It wasn't a very big class. So I divided them in two and I gave each one the same. And I said, right now you register on Kahoot, and we gave names. The groups decided they're the Lions or the Red Team or the Tigers or whatever. And then I asked, what is a patent there? And then you have the options and they click. So the one that reacts the first, the score goes off. So I showed it on the screen in class, and then it's a little competition. All right. So immediately your students are engaged in the activity in the class and they're learning in a fun way. They don't even realize what they are learning, but immediately you gave them the theory and you made it a bit more practical, and they really enjoy this activity. I can promise you they would just like to have another one and go on and on and on. You can familiarize yourself with Kahoot beforehand. It's free software. It's very simple to use. There you can see the link to Kahoot, but just familiarize yourself. But this is a wonderful tool, and it also falls under gamification because you play in the classroom. Right now we go a bit more advanced. As gamification is my interest, there's a lot of free games you can download. Sorry for my dogs. I think everybody's used to this now, is the background noises. So I thought of doing something on my own. You have a lot of options when you go to Google, type in free information literacy games or library games or whatever. You will find quite a few. There's Hangman, for example, that you can also download for free. But I had this project and I wanted to do my own. So I got the idea of a pirate ship, and it was also on information resources. So I moved away from the ethical aspects. Oh, now it's the neighbors that's in the back walking in their yard, and now my Great Dane doesn't like it. Sorry for this, guys. Anyway, so this was about the basic information resources. In other words, encyclopedias, maps, dictionaries, biographies, all those basic information resources. And when you present it in class as theory with just a PowerPoint, you can within 5 seconds see how you are losing the student's attention. So this was done on PowerPoint. At the time I designed this, I was on the South Campus of the University of the Free State, and they have the Ideas Lab there, and these graphic designers, and you've got IT specialists. So it was a wonderful group of people with various skills I could work with, and I presented my idea. And then we had the graphic designers and they draw the posters. And then we have the IT guys that has knowledge. It was something new that PowerPoint at that stage brought out to the public, was how to kind of use PowerPoint for more interesting things. All right, so I had the idea of a pirate ship, and I had the idea of Blackbeard, the pirate. And if I click on it, I'm going to show you how this game then ended out. So we worked on this quite a while. It took us a while to get all the elements working. Perhaps you can hear the ocean in the background. All right, so we added some sound to it. So we have the ocean there. I don't know if you can hear it. And then you click on start. Right, and then you will have Blackbeard, the pirate there. You have some things to read there. And then it says in my hand, I've got a biography. Click on it to learn more about me. So this is a biography. We're going to learn more about Blackbeard. And we click on that. It takes us to the next slide. And what are biographical source? You've got your individual biographies, collected biographies. So you have to do a bit of learning. In retrospect, you can make the written parts a bit shorter. It takes time for the students to read this. So this wasn't really so interactive. I think Kahoot is perhaps a bit more interactive, or you can make it a bit more interactive. But this one, you can read, and then you click here again, and it tells you more about Blackbeard. So it explains your different biographies, and then it explains a specific person. Once again, in retrospect, I will shorten this text that it's not so long to read. And then you go to next, and then Blackbeard pops up again, and you have click on the study, and that takes you to his ship and the study, and there you will see the encyclopedias. So if you now click on the encyclopedias, it will explain to you what the encyclopedia is. And you read through that, and as you read through it, then you will get to the next page, and it will explain to you what pirates are. And as you read, the text appears. So it goes on and on. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It's quite a lengthy one to go through. But so in the end, there's a map, and the map takes you to the island, and on the island, there's a treasure. And when you find the treasure, you get a point or a score. So the one that reads, that's why I say I will shorten the text, because it has a bit to do with how fast and comprehensive you can read. But you continue and you continue, and in the end, you will have your reward. And they can work this on their own time. Right, so this was my own idea on the Blackbeard, but there's other ideas you can also think of. The advantages, we have to talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of gamification, as you do have some disadvantages as well. But the advantages is that it makes learning fun and interactive, and especially dealing with library topics. I think we want to make it interesting for the students to learn. It creates an addiction to learning, because with Kahoot, as I said, they wanted to do another activity and another one, and they compete to one another in the class, and that gets a nice vibe into your classroom. And it also gives the learners the opportunity to see real world applications, like with a goodie bag. They could see what is a patent and what is a logo and so forth. And it enhances the learning experience. The feedback I get at the end of a class was always positive. We hand out the feedback forms so that we can see how we can improve and so forth. It's standard practice. And with the gamification, I really have a very positive feedback. The disadvantages of gamification is that it's very costly and you can have a poor design. I was lucky to have the Ideas Lab on South Campus with their expertise, because the graphic designers, I did quote it to get an idea of what it would have cost. The graphic designer alone would have been 10,000 Rand and it's basically the Blackbeard you saw there and the pirate ship. So it wasn't a lot of pictures, but it's very costly. And if you don't have somebody that has got the necessary technology skills, you can have a bad design that's not going to work. And you always reflect back on your work. As I say, my text was definitely too long. I would have shortened it if I had to do it again. And you must think about your topic as well. One of the critiques I got back was that Pirates is a soccer team. All right, so you have to, and then I thought, maybe I should have taken soccer as a theme. So yeah, you get ideas from your feedback as well. Another disadvantage is that you might need some technological skills to engage with the game. So you would try to keep it as simple as possible, not to have a learning curve regarding using the game. And remember, your gamification will never replace your traditional learning strategies. So you will always teach theory, and then you can go practical with a game. And you can upload it on your learning management system, and they can go and do it afterwards. They can do it on their own. They can do it in a group. But your traditional learning methods and strategies will always be there. And then the game might not always be aligned to teaching and your learning goals. So that's why you prepare your lesson plan, that you can make sure that it's aligned to your teaching and learning goals, that the outcome that you would like to achieve, you are going to achieve through your game. That did the students learn something? Will they be able to know if they see a product, what is a patent? When they engage with sources, those dogs is really disturbing. Sorry for that. Did you achieve your goal? Did they learn something? Will they remember it? And will they use it when they're dealing with, when they do an assignment? Right. This was the presentation I did, was, as you can see, basically with the ethical aspects of information, and then also with the basic information resources, which is difficult topics, because when you teach the databases how to access information, it's more interesting because you can go onto the website of your institution, and you can show them how to compile a search strategy and do a search, and show them the articles and the Boolean operators and how to limit and how to use the and or and so forth. So that's immediately more engaging. But when you're dealing with strict theory, I would say it's better using a game design that you can use. Okay, that was my presentation. I don't know, you are welcome to ask any questions if there's any questions.
Do we have any questions for Leander?
I just have a comment. I actually attended something run by a bunch of students, and they used Kahoot, and it was quite interactive. The students enjoyed it. So I think that's a nice platform to use.
Coleman, I must say, normally the students enjoy it because they engage in the class, and it's not a boring lesson, you know. Yeah, so I really think gamification has a lot of advances.
So let me put my Kahoot experience into perspective. The junior Rotaractors, that's the Junior Rotary Club, had a meeting with a bunch of Rotary clubs abroad, and they all got together and each one had to make a milk tart. They were sent a milk tart recipe and they had to make a milk tart. So that adds to the fun aspect. I'm just saying, telling you what my experience was. And then they asked them facts about South Africa because it was hosted by us. So I must, like you say, it is a good experience. It was big fun.
Anybody else with a comment or a question? Leander, then I just want to thank you for this very informative talk of yours. Gamification was one of those words that I didn't really understand, and I didn't really understand where it fits into libraries. Now I really have a much better understanding, and I'm sure a few of us who have not yet experienced Kahoot will, within the next few days, make sure we do visit Kahoot and see what we can do with it. Leanda, thank you so very much for your time. If I may ask, can we perhaps just put your email address up for everyone, that if there's any questions that they did not want to ask you now, or they think of later, that they might just contact you if you don't mind. But thank you so very much, and thank you everyone for attending the meeting. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you to you as well, Matilda, and the group. Yes, I put up my email address there, so you're more than welcome to email me. And if there's any suggestions, or if you would like my PowerPoint, I can share that as well, but the links will then not work to all the things. But thank you for the opportunity. Best of luck there in the Free State. Keep on smiling and keep safe.
Leanda, once again, thank you so much. It was nice seeing your face again, even though that you are there in Gauteng. Zoom and all the other technologies makes it so much easier that we can present or talk to each other. Best of luck with all your endeavors. May you have a nice day, and please keep well. Then I just want to like to thank everyone attending the meeting. This will then be the end of the meeting. I have already told you that our next meeting will be on the 21st of July, with Anne-Marie from National Office will present to us Liasa website training. So if you can, please join us for that meeting, and we will share with you Leanda's talk. And as you have seen, she has given her email to us. So if there's any questions, please contact her. May all of you have a nice day. And I know it's not long weekend yet, but when you do have the long weekend, please drive safely if you drive, or otherwise just enjoy your time at home. Thank you, everyone. This meeting is now closed.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Leon.